What if I told you that one of the biggest obstacles that you face in figuring out what's next for you is actually all of those decades of hard-won experience? You'd probably say that I'm crazy. In reality, this is one of those superpower kryptonite moments. All of those decades of experience, everything that you've learned so far, of course it's useful. Of course it's going to help you. Of course it already has helped you. But it's also the very thing that's stopping you from creating something new, something maybe bigger, something maybe different, something that feels more authentic. So today we're going to talk about the difference between experience and wisdom. And I'm going to tell you something, sisters, the difference is enormous, but no one ever told us that. As a matter of fact, most people think that experience equals wisdom, but they're not the same thing. In fact, one makes your world smaller and the other expands it. If you want something to occur that has never occurred for you so far, you need wisdom, and I'm going to tell you why. So let's start by talking about experience. Experience is the word that we use to describe what we've learned. And if you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, or beyond, you have learned a lot. That bucket of experience is enormous. And trust me, nobody's asking you to throw that away. It really is important. It really is meaningful. But there's an opportunity for you to look at it differently, for you to look at it in a new way. Think about it this way. You put your hand on a hot stove and you pull it away instantly. Why? You got burnt. Lesson learned. Hot stove, burnt hand. Don't do that again. And so now we have experience. We have experience with hot stoves. Not all experience, however, is the same as that. Not all experience is as simple as that. As a matter of fact, very, very few of your experiences are as black and white as hot stove burned hand. In most cases, the experiences that you've had in life are so complex. Other people were involved. All kinds of circumstances were involved. That if any little thing had been even slightly different along the way, the outcome would have been different as well. Vastly different, sometimes. Slightly different, sometimes. But different, absolutely. And yet, our experience is something that tells us we know for sure that this is how that kind of thing goes for us. When we rely solely on our experience, we're taking everything from the present moment and all of our predictions about what's possible for us, and we're stuffing it into the box of the past. That box that says, here's what's possible, here's what's realistic, here's what's plausible in this situation. And so our world gets smaller when we rely solely on our experience. So wisdom takes all of that experience into consideration, all of the things that you've learned into consideration, but it looks through a different lens. Instead of saying, this is the way that it is and that it will be, wisdom says, this is the way that it was. And when we look through that lens, we get to say, okay, why potentially was it that way? What are the factors that played in that situation that created that particular outcome? What other factors might have created a different outcome? Now, my friends, I'm going to tell you something right now. This is the place where we all fall into a trap. Because when we look back through that lens, what's our knee-jerk reaction? To blame ourselves, to judge ourselves, or to blame others, or to judge others for the circumstances. And in order for wisdom to be the thing that's taking hold, we need to throw that blame and judgment out the window. We are looking at the past as data so that we can make determinations about how to best use it for the future. Okay, so we look at those experiences for clues about what happened and why. through the lens of wisdom, we also look to experiences that other people have had and look for clues there that might broaden our perspective. Through the lens of wisdom, we also look inward. We start to look at what are our core values, what really matters to us. This goal, this thing that we're reaching for, is it one of those should have things? Is it based on external expectations? Or is it something that's really aligned for us? We look at the things that we long for against that same lens. Is it in alignment for us? And then we measure our goals against that. So when we're looking through a lens of wisdom, we are broadening our perspective. We are looking for multiple paths to what is possible. And in that, we're able to create a future that is different from the past, that allows us to behave differently than we did in the past, that allows us to see opportunities that we may have missed in the past. Through the lens of wisdom, everything expands. So what's the bottom line here? Those things that you think that you know for sure, as a matter of fact, the ones that you are the most certain of, because you learned the hard way, those are the ones that are blocking you the most. You don't have to throw all of that learning out the window, but look at it through the lens of wisdom. Look through the lens of what is possible, and then start turning the dials to create something new. If you're a woman over 50 looking for what's next in your life, and this resonated, click that like and subscribe button and make sure you hit that little notification bell, because that will let you know when our next video drops. Until then, big love.